Hey, everybody, and welcome to Module 8. We are at the end. Isn't this super exciting? I know you guys have put in a ton of great work. I know you've worked really hard to get to this point, and I think it's important, to recognize the hard work you've put in, but we can't let up quite yet. We got to push a little harder and finish strong all the way to the end. I am super excited about what we're going to do here. This week, Module 8 is the revision and then the final version of our researched argument, right? So if you start off with our overview, it kind of again tells us what we're going to do, gives us our objectives, and you get this, our list of learning activities, the readings, and the resources. We're going to be focusing primarily reading-wise on revision, editing, and proofreading. One of the things that I like to tell people about revision is that it's two parts. One is global editing, one is mechanical editing. Global is the message. Is the message complete? Does it do what I intend to do? Did it get a full message? Does my reader, understand what I'm trying to do? And do they buy into my argument? And did I provide everything they need to make a good decision, right? So we want to really make sure that that message is complete and done and ready before we look at the mechanical. The mechanical is the spelling, the grammar, the punctuation, the spelling, stuff like that, right? I think you should do them separately. I love to get a good solid message first and then take a look at those mechanical pieces, because if you're constantly bouncing back and forth, you're going to be like focused on just spelling and you're not going to see that mistake in that messaging, right? Or if you're like, working on the messaging and whatever, you might miss some of those comments. So it's always important to do those separately. You do have some tools available to you. Remember at the very beginning of the semester, I told you that you have access to Tutor 24/7, tutor.com. 24/7 online help. That's on the link on the left. You can use that. Your local campus has writing centers. You have peer reviews. You could definitely ask me specific questions about, things that you have some, you want to clarify before you turn your paper in. But that's really the big key here is this revision, right? That's what we're really going to be focusing on. We do have a discussion board. It is our last discussion board. Notice that the posts move up really early, okay? So for this one, your initial post will be up Wednesday, May the 1st. And then your replies to two other people will be due on Sunday, May the 5th. Again, I want you to be very clear about the fact that these dates have been moved up. That's so that you have access to that feedback, so that you can finish your paper, that you know what you need to be doing when you are working on your final draft. If you look at your initial post, you're going to look at the feedback that you received, and you're going to answer at least, you're going to include answers to at least 3 of the questions below. So there's like 3-4 pieces here that you can address, right? And then you're going to answer these 5 questions, right? And then you're going to answer these 3 questions, right? So there's a lot in your initial post. I know it says just 300 words. Make sure that you really have that fully formed. I looked at all these different aspects of the feedback process, of the feedback that I received, how I accepted it, how I used it, and how it really or didn't maybe help you. And then you're going to go and you're going to respond to at least 2 of your classmates, okay? And again, we want to be really substantive, and we want to be very here's what I see and here's what you can do. Want to respond to what they said. We're not arguing the topics, right? But you're going to address 2 or more of the following questions, and you have them right here. So you're going to pick at least 2 of those 4 questions to address to at least 2 of your peers. But those, again, will be due on Wednesday and then Sunday of the first week of the module. And then we get to the final draft. We turn in that final draft of our paper. Now, as you are looking at this, okay, understand that this this paper stands on its own. There's no like, let me call you up and clarify and whatever. Like it really has to stand on its own. You really think about all the things that we've done this semester: purpose, audience, approach. Here's what I'm trying to do. Did I reach that audience? Did I do those things that I needed to do to get to my audience to help them really buy into my argument, right? It gives you some information here about the APA process, what you have on your APA paper, and then which again you have templates for and a video for in our resources folder. And then you get the rubric. This is the rubric that I will be using to grade your paper. So please take a look at that and make some kind of like, okay, if I look at this, did I do these things, right? And some of them look like what we've had already in the rough draft or maybe in previous papers. So you kind of know what those are. Think about, did I do those things? Were they things that my peers made comments on? Were they things that maybe, Wells made comments on that I need to look at, right? This will be your rubric. This is how this paper will be graded, and it is out of 300 points. Now, again, I tell you all the time to be looking at those rubrics because, again, it will give you specific areas to look at so that you know what you need to do to get the best grade possible, right? And then finally, you're done. Once you submit that paper, we will be done. Now, I will let you know that you probably will receive a course survey at some point. It'll be generated from IB Tech itself, not from me, and it will ask you to talk about the class, your experiences, and how things have gone for you. I just do want to remind you that if you do get that invitation, the school does take it seriously. They do want your honest feedback. They want to know what worked for you and maybe your suggestions how to make things better, right? So please make sure that you do that. Be honest, be fair, but be honest. The school does take that report seriously. Now, I do not receive any individual scores or reports on that. I get an aggregate report afterwards. They'll say like, your average score in this area was, your average score in this area was. And if I get like comments, like if you say like, oh, he did this or he did this, I generally get sanitized versions of it. So I won't get like your exact quote word for word. So I can't try to figure out who said what. It won't be by class or anything like that. So, I do get some like generalized comments like students talked about your whatever, right? So, please take it seriously. It helps me. It helps the school. And it helps people that take this class after you. But you guys have done some great work. You have so much to be proud of. All you got to do now is put all the pieces together. Just finish strong. If you need something, please let me know so that I can give that to you. And I want to see you be as successful as you can. So good luck, everybody.